What's up, YouTube? This is CK Repair. I just wanted to showcase my computer that I built about a month and a half ago. It's an Antec Lanboy Air fully modular case, meaning that everything as far as the panels, fans, everything in the front can be shifted up and down, as well as the back of the case. You can either put the power supply in the bottom or in the top by adjusting the system tray and a couple brackets. It's pretty nice. The other thing that it has is the hard drives are not in typical trays. Instead, they're in this special design that Antec came up with. They're like rubber. So what you can do is you can have them suspended in midair, which reduces vibration on the drives and is a lot quieter. I tried to do the cabling as good as I could. As you can see, I have this case fully populated with all 12 drives. I mean, all 12 fans. It's fairly quiet. I have a SkyThy 12-channel fan controller in the front that you can adjust everything. At the moment, I don't have these fans fastened down because I'm not sure if I really want to keep these on there or not. It's going to be kind of difficult to mount them because I don't really feel like taking the heatsink and the fan out to put those in right now, so they're just kind of sitting there. So I'm not sure about that, but what I'll do is I'll take these case fans off for you and show you the inside of the system as well as the components that I selected for this build. Now keep in mind, guys, is that this system was kind of a budget build. It was a little, I think about $1,000. Obviously you guys probably have way better system than mine, you know, maybe saying it's Intel i7 or, you know, a lot better components than what I have, but this is pretty much all I really needed. I do a lot of VMware stuff as well, so I run a lot of virtual machines, different operating systems, and run different servers and stuff. But this is the Asus MA5 990X. It's a new board that they came out with. It's got the NVIDIA GTX 550. It's 1 gig of RAM and DDR3. It's got the AMD 1090 6-core processor. It's the black edition, so it can be fully overclocked. So out of the box, it's rated at 3.2 gig. On air, I have it running at 4.2 gigahertz, which is, you know, pretty easy, achievable overclock. But probably on liquid cooling, I could probably go a lot higher, maybe 4.6. The memory that I chose is called G-Skill. It's 2133 overclocking RAM. There's 16 gigs in there. Right now it's not running at full speed. It's actually running at 1866. If I do choose to go with the bulldozer, which I was looking at their 8-core chip, and I really was not happy with it simply because it's not a true 8-core processor. It's actually a 4-core with almost like hyper transport, which is like virtual threads. So I wasn't really looking at that. So I went with the 1090T. It's pretty powerful for what I need to do. I don't really play too much gaming, but I'm getting really high frame rates in Counter-Strike Source and Dave Defeat. I haven't really went crazy as far as gaming right now because I haven't gamed in a while. But I've been looking at, was it World at War 3, Call of Duty. I have it on the Xbox 360, but I don't know if I want to get back into PC gaming right now because this work and everything. But like I said, I just have the one video card in here. It's a 550. You know, honestly, I probably should have looked at a 580 or a 590. But you know, at the time, money was kind of a little tight on doing this build. I didn't want to get crazy. But the other thing I'm not too happy about this board is it's not true PCI Express 16X. The first port is 2.0, but from what I was reading, the rest of the PCI Express ports that are on here, which I believe there is, let's see, there's a total of 3 PCI Express ports on here, and it divides them up into like 8X lanes. So I'm not too sure about when I put the other card into SLI, because I was thinking about getting another 550, and then people were telling me just go with like a 580 and do an SLI on that. You'll be happier with that. I just don't know if I'm going to get real, you know, decent performance with this board, because it divides the 8X lane up. The other thing is I chose a Corsair TX750. Probably could have went a little higher on the wattage of the power supply, but it handles everything that I got going on in here. Let's see what else we got. I stuck this old NVIDIA GT220 in the second PCI X port. It's acting as a physics processor, but I'm not really doing anything with physics. I just stuck it in there for the hell of it. I got a bunch of like UV reactive it was a SATA 6 gig per second cables in there. You see the cathodes, the 2 cathodes that I have in there, as well as a bunch of zip ties and stuff. Let me show you what else we got going on in here. I did the cabling as best as I could. I don't think it's a real rat's nest in here. It could probably be tightened up a little bit more, but it's better than what it was. So I'll put this back on here. So like I was showing you, I have these drives here. So each one of these drives, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terabytes of storage in RAID 0. And then you notice down the bottom, I actually have 2 additional disks that are solid states. I went with the OZZ Agility 3s, so I'm getting true 6 gig per second performance. Just a plain old DVD dual layer burner in there, nothing spectacular. This case has USB 3.0, one single port in the front. The only thing I don't like about this Antec case is that it's not a true 3.0 USB. What they did was they actually took the port, put a cable on it, and ran it through the back, and then you have to share it with a 3.0 connection on the back of the chassis on the motherboard. It's kind of stupid, but it works, I guess. It's got a bunch of eSATA on this board. I don't even think you can really see this, but it's got powered eSATA, it's got optical out, it's got FireWire, tons of USB ports on it. It's got 7.1 surround sound. System's pretty decent for what I need it for. And then I have it hooked up to 2 dual screen monitors. The one on the right is kind of a little bit of an older monitor. The screen on the left is a HP LED screen over DVI. I would have been happy if it was HDMI, but it's okay. Let's see. Show you what we got going on in here. So this is the storage. I split a bunch of the volumes up. 3.63 TB There's a 500 gig here, another 500 gig here. There's a solid state. Now, what I did is I actually turned hibernation off in Windows 7, and that actually got me like another 20 gig worth of storage. So the solid state partition is strictly for operating system only, as well as applications. I probably should have went with two 120s and two instead of two 60 gig. But it's working as pretty good right now. Just have to be, I got to keep in mind that I can't be installing tons and tons of programs on here because it'll eat everything up. But I could probably split it and have some programs on the actual spinning hard disks. Let's see. Show you the specs here. It's rated as 7.4 Windows Experience Index. I'm not really happy with that. It would have been nice if it was maybe 7.5 or 7.6. Windows 7 Ultimate, Service Pack 1. The other thing I don't like is I got the operating system. Actually, let me take that back. I have the processor overclocked to about 4.1, 4.2. It goes up and down at times. Right now it's sitting at 3.9. But the operating system is not seeing this speed in here. And I've been reading that you can possibly change a registry setting in here for showing that, but it's nothing crazy. It's just I'm just kind of I don't want to say paranoid, but I would like to see that in the system information, but it's whatever. 64-bit, 16 gigs of RAM, 1090T. It's really not that bad. The motherboard also comes with a bunch of software out of the box. It comes with this application. Let me see if I can find it here. It comes with an application called AI Suite 2. What it does is you can bring this up here. Let's see. There's a button here that you can click called Auto Tuning. And what it does is it tries to overclock the processor by simply adjusting different parameters within the BIOS. So it'll do multiplier, it'll do front side bus, it'll adjust voltage on the memory on the north bridge chipset, on the south bridge. It'll do a bunch of different settings to get the highest clock speed that it can, that is stable and is not going to crash overnight. So you have two different options you can select here. You can either select fast or extreme. I have it set at extreme, and after you click extreme, you click start. It'll go through a bunch of adjustments. It's going to reboot. It's going to make a couple adjustments now. Reboot the machine. Come back in. Try more adjustments, and it'll tell you 15% increase, 25% increase. That's just my speakers. For some reason, when the machine reboots, it makes that noise. But it's pretty cool. You should take a look at it if you have any of these 990X chipsets. It comes with the new Asus motherboards. But that's pretty much it. I just figured I'd show you guys what I got going on. Comment, suggestions. I'll talk to you later, right?